Welcome back, everybody. It is Thursday afternoon. It is March the 5th, 2026, and here we are. Surprise, surprise, another guitar. First thing we're going to notice, I'm sure it has no effect, but you can see that this thing definitely got caught on the conveyor belt. Whoa! On the conveyor belt. And yeah, definitely took some chunks out, but I think it'll be fine. Yes, as you've deduced by now, I am a bit of a guitar addict. And what I'm trying to do in the my final act of getting guitars is trying to get something that's a little bit different. Now sometimes that just means a different color. But this time, I thought I would try something different. And what I think I have here is a Chibson SG Custom. And the reason why I say that is because I can already see that it has binding on the headstock, has the double diamond. But the reason why I jumped on this, I've never had one of these. I've never had a triple pickup model. Now, we know it probably makes very little to no difference at all when it comes to the tonal qualities of the guitar, especially since this is probably not set up like an official 3 pickup guitar, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But, ooh, it looks pretty, but let's just real quick, let's make sure that we don't have any neck damage. And we do not, that I can tell. It's a beautiful wine red. It's, yeah, so some interesting things about the different iterations. So if you get a standard or a deluxe SG, I think this is Les Paul's as well. You get the, I don't know what they're called, paragram? I don't know. They have an angle on it. When you go into the land of custom, which this is calling itself a Les Paul Custom, you get black, which is interesting. I don't know what it means. I prefer the smaller pickguard. I think it looks sharp. Doesn't really matter. A lot of people like the bat wing. Yes, this is a translucent finish. I personally don't care for gold hardware, but it's a little fancy. So to get your fancy going, I'm sure it's so thin that if you breathe on it. Anyways, it's a pretty guitar, and it looks like it definitely survived. And so this is going to satisfy my desire, because right now I currently have 2, 3, 4 SGs. And I actually have another one coming that I'm trying to cancel because I don't need it, because I already have it. And this one was just a little bit different, so this looks like it'll fit the bill. So I'm going to go plug it in and see how it sounds, and we'll be back later this evening with comments and observations. Welcome back, everybody. Again, it is March the 5th, 2026. I've just played this guitar about an hour, and I must say that I'm very impressed. I'm not surprised, but I'm very impressed. I have had a few minor quality control issues on these Chibson guitars, but for the most part, very, very, very impressed with the fit, the finish, the workmanship. This guitar could use a little bit of massaging on the nut. A couple of the slots are a little high, so it pulls a little sharp down in the cowboy chord area, but I don't play down there most of the time. So other than that, very impressed. Again, the thing that I wanted to mention from what I've read, I've never had a Gibson guitar with 3 pickups before. Actually, I take that, well, I had an Epiphone. And it had some modifications done to it, but my understanding is on these normally you have 3 volume knobs and 1 tone. So you get a volume knob for each of the pickups. And as far as the three-way switching goes on this one, I don't know. I'm guessing it's just this pickup, or this pickup, or this pickup. But it may be in this position, you get two pickups. Maybe this is just one pickup, maybe this is two pickups. I don't know. I'm going to have to fool around with it a little bit. I just wanted to come back and give the preliminary. Again, the fit and the finish on this guitar, very nice. I was pleasantly surprised. The pictures, they're getting more and more crafty. They're showing you less and less. Based on the pictures of this guitar, I really wasn't sure what I was getting. I wasn't sure if I was getting a custom. There was no way of knowing because there was just absolutely no indication at all of, there was no picture above probably this fret going up. I just did a couple bit of guesswork, and one of them was that the customs have block inlays, whereas the standards have parallelograms. I don't know how to pronounce it. Go ahead and laugh at me if you want, but it's the ones that have sort of the cut on the bottom, like this guitar, which is a standard, and you see how it has the cuts. I think a parallelogram is two uneven surfaces, whereas these are block. So that gave me a clue. The three pickups gave me a clue. The gold hardware gave me a clue, but still I wasn't sure if I was going into custom territory or not. I just didn't know. But again, I was willing to take a chance. I was hoping that I was, because again, I've got plenty of standard SGs, and I like them all. And I just wasn't sure what I was going to get. So I'm going to have to clean up this. This is definitely leaving some squawky residue behind. They're getting a little sloppy in their residue. And this one's actually leaving part of the sticker behind. So I'm going to clean that up. Do that right now. Senstar. So that's what this is technically a Senstar. And I've had pretty good luck. I don't know if it's really a brand. I have no idea. But the ones that I've gotten that had a Senstar sticker on it have actually come out really nice. They've been well-built guitars. The guitar that I've had the most trouble with repeatedly was Weissers, and that was with their chicken faker guitars, or their Rickenfaker, Chickenbackers, whatever you want to call them. Anyways, we will be back in a week with more updates, but unless something again pops up and surprises me, fit and finish again, very nice, well done. And again, I was pleased to see, because I've been, more than a few of these have been showing up, which is really gnarly breaks in the neck, which is just really, that's such a kick in the stomach when you open these up. And so anyways, we will be back in the coming days to report more on this guitar. But this is the Chibson SG Custom. And yeah, really, really pretty guitar with the translucent cherry red, which is a classic Gibson color. Thank you very much. We'll see you when we get back. Welcome back, everybody. It is now, I believe today is the 9th. It is March the 9th, 2026. And yes, this is the Chibson, the 3-pickup SG Custom. And you'll notice it's back in its box. And the reason why is it's being shipped back. And the reason why is we could not have a meeting of the minds. This guitar had some serious, semi-serious corrosion issues going on the ferrules and creeping up to the posts of the tuners. Again, that's why there's no comment button, because you can't call me what an idiot. Oh, you spent, it's a Chinese guitar. I get it. I get that the gold on this is like, if it's even really gold, it's like, a millimeter of a micron thick. I get it. But it shouldn't show up to my door and be corroded already. If it corrodes in the first 6 months, if I have acidic sweat, I get some people don't get along with gold. I get along with gold fine. I don't turn gold green. Some people do. That's not the point. The point is that the day that I got it on closer inspection, I saw it was an issue. So I talked to the seller, and they were going to send me some new tuners. I don't work on guitars. Yes, I could, but one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you're pulling your hair out of your head. So I asked for a modest refund so I could pay someone to do it, and they weren't on board with that, and that's fine. I don't love this guitar. And, when there's a real reason, I don't send guitars back because I don't like them. If I don't like a guitar, I just turn around and sell it, and that's good for everybody. But this guitar, I didn't love it. I don't really love the 3-pickup configuration. It really didn't work for me. It's a nice guitar, probably a beautiful guitar for the right person. But since there was an actual defect on the guitar, it was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use that as a reason to return it. So anyways, it's going back. There may be more guitars coming up in the future. There may not be. Who knows? Anyways, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you back next time. Again, March the 9th, 2026, and it's about 7 in the evening. Yes, the time change. It's still light outside. Woo! It's a nice change. Okay.